Hi Vicky Cook,
Hi.
and this is Vicky Cook Physio. We've been doing Omni High Five for the last 2 hours now, and this device is to help me with my paralyzed left arm and hand, which has been paralyzed for the last 6 years due to an ischemic stroke, which happened on January 19, 2014. I celebrated my 6 year anniversary only, obviously, more than a few days ago now. Now, Vicky, did the hardest thing about this is
What's that, Junior?
I was considered one of the best, well, by Fat Man Scoop, the best MC in Australia. You know, was DJing in the nightclubs, was doing all that stuff, and that was on a Saturday night. Then at 5:46 p.m. on a Sunday, I take 3 steps into my bedroom and I collapsed onto the ground. And I couldn't get up. And it was an ischemic stroke, luckily. So, do you know much about an ischemic stroke?
Mm-hmm.
So there was a blockage in my brain which probably lasted maybe 45 seconds or so. But it cut off enough blood supply in my brain, which then caused the hemorrhage to happen. And with that, it's caused 33% brain damage. And if you've seen my MRI and my scans, the doctors quite simply said to me, I'd never walk again. The hardest part about that, Vicky, I ended up in the ICU at the Monash Medical Centre. And it was probably the scariest thing I'd ever gone through in my life, because I was awake through the whole thing. And, at that particular moment, I wasn't registered with the NDIS. And I didn't have such an amazing support team around me. I went to the Kingston Centre and I had some amazing therapists there. But do you know what it's like, Vicky, to lie in a hospital bed for 4 months not knowing if you're ever going to walk again?
No, I've got no idea.
But I couldn't put one foot in front of the other on a treadmill. And I think you've seen that video. It's up on YouTube as well. That physiotherapist, her name is Katrina Angus, got on her hands and knees and had to move my foot, one foot in front of the other. I had to get hoisted from 1 meter on a hoist. It was 161 kilograms. And I couldn't use the bathroom because I couldn't even wipe my own backside. It was that bad. That's the realistic facts of having a stroke. You become totally independent. Dependent. Sorry. You're dependent on other people. And I felt like a complete burden on my family. My parents, my mum and dad. All the people around me. And Vicky, the hardest part about it is I had every friend in the world at that time. On that Saturday the 18th, I had every friend in the world. I had thousands of friends because I was MC Junior. I was the guy on the microphone rocking the nightclubs. I was this, that. I was the guy who can get free entry, drink cards. I could do all that. That was easy, and I thought that was my life. But the moment Sunday, 5:46 p.m. came and I was on the ground and I couldn't get up, that was when I realized the only person around me was my brother. And I was on the ground and I remember I couldn't get up. I couldn't push myself up, literally. And I was wondering, why can't I get up? I became incontinent. I actually weed my pants. And it got to the point that I was on the ground, and my niece came in and she said to me, she goes, "What are you doing? What's wrong?" And I said, "I'm trying to find my phone." She goes, "No, you're not." She goes, "What's wrong?" And I go, "I'm trying to find my phone." And she goes, I'm gonna get my dad, my brother." My brother came in, and he came and lay next to me. I remember telling my brother, I said, "Brother, I think I'm gonna die. I honestly think I'm gonna die." I could feel my body starting to shut down. Like the brain obviously was dying. The brain damage. I could feel the brain, that the tingling started, the body, I could feel it. But that time I could talk, and I could, my slurred speech had stopped. My brother-in-law walked in the room, and he's a big man. He came in the room, picked me up with one arm, put me on the bed. My sister's a nurse. Luckily, she came in and she said to my dad, "Call an ambulance, he's having a stroke." I never even knew what the word stroke meant. I've never heard of it. And I remember thinking to myself, I'm alright, I'm a diabetic, so it's not going to matter. I'll be in and out of hospital. I had to do a gig that night at about 7:45. All I remember is that, that's right, I'll be at Monash and I'll be out of hospital within the hour, 2 hours tops. As long as I'm there by my gig, that's all I cared about. Because my brain at the time I felt was not cognitively affected. That's correct. Right stroke brains compared to left stroke brains are quite different. Would that be correct in saying?
That's right, yep.
Because left-sided stroke brains, from what I saw at the Kingston Centre, a lot of people have a lot of trouble with speech.
That's right.
And obviously motor function. I'm lucky for once that for me, I was 33 years old, so I had my youth on my side. At the same time, it was a right-sided stroke, so I had only the problem with my left-sided problem. I could not walk. I couldn't one foot in front of the other. I put videos up on Facebook under Bruce Edmonds Jr. Up on YouTube under Bruce Edmonds Jr. Stroke recovery. You can see all the videos from the start through to the end. From Bupa therapy, which is where I met you, Vicky Cook. I met Kathy Inglis, Elise Rain, Sarah Jane Brown, and so many other people. Josh, Ryan Ebert, and so many other people I would love to thank at Bupa Therapy. Peter Hudson, who I met as well from Hawthorne, a legend. But more importantly, I'd love to thank Joanna Hall and the NDIS, because without them, I would never have been able to get hope in walking again, and hope and even the chance of moving my hand again. Is this table close enough to me, Vicky?
It's pretty far away.
Can we move it closer to me? Because I want to show people exactly what's been happening. Natasha Van Ziel, who was my hand surgeon, she said to me very simply, "If you want me to release your hand, which was like this, it was a closed fist, for more than 5 years." Sorry, at that time, 5 years. She said to me, "I'm willing to open your hand for you, but you're too fat." I was 161 kilograms. I've now lost half that body weight. I weigh 80 kilograms. But Vicky, as a therapist, you've seen my progress over the last 11 months that we've been working together.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel that I've been progressing since then?
You've progressed really well. You've improved your independence with your walking. You can walk longer distances now. You can walk with and without your stick. You can walk with and without your AFO. And we've also tried walking with the walk aid, which is an alternative to the AFO, which has helped a lot in getting your normal walking pattern back.
Now, an AFO, if it might sound like it's from like a UFO, it doesn't mean anything like that. It means because of my stroke, my foot tends to do this. It's called a foot drop. Okay, and the AFO is a device. It's a plastic device. If you have a look at my foot right now, it's this thing that goes around, and then it goes underneath right here. It's made out of plastic right now. And what it does, it doesn't allow my ankle to do that. So, which means that when I walk, I can walk confidently knowing that my foot's not going to drop. So I can walk without it, and I can walk kilometers now instead of only walking 5 meters or 10 meters without fatiguing. But that's done through hard work, and that's done through therapists like Vivky, who's been working with me, and the amazing team at Kingston as well. I should give them credit. Adam McKinstry, Katrina Angus, and the guys at Clayton Community Rehab as well. Because I want you all to realise this was a team effort. This wasn't just one particular person who's done it. There's so many people who have helped me accomplish these goals to date. But more importantly, again, the NDIS. Without them, these things will not be happening. But 6 years ago, Vivky, like I said, the doctor walked into my room. My dad and I had this conversation just the other day. He was laughing. Whether or not he was laughing at me or laughing because he was laughing at something else and he walked into my room, I don't know. But I felt at that time he was laughing at me. Hi Bruce. Hey son, I've seen your MRI scan. And just to let you know, I don't want you to have any hopes that you're going to walk again. It broke my heart. I'm a statistic of the Catholic Church, meaning I'm a clergy abuse victim. At that time, I hadn't walked in 4 months. I was lying on my back. On my mind, I had to think about that. Then I had to think about the fact that now I couldn't walk. So what did I have to live for? That's all I could think about. How much time do I have left in the warm-up, Vivky?
It's not on the warm-up, it's on the ETS.
On the ETS.
Mm-hmm.
So now, again, the Omni High 5, which you can have a look at again, we can show you.
Mm-hmm.
It's set up on the iPad. It goes through 4 stages, but this device was not around 6 years ago. And therapists back then, like I said, they only gave you a 12-month window for therapy. They never gave you hope for 6 years down the track that you'd get it back. But people like yourself, Vivky Cook, who are dedicated enough to actually say if you work hard enough with assistive technology like this through the NDIS and through Opal Orthotics, make sure you check them out and see Alison Schenk and their crew, because they're the ones who get this done. Right now, what's going to happen is my brain, through all the brain damage, is going to send a signal through to the paralyzed muscle, and
that's it.
The Omni High 5 is going to pick up my paralyzed hand. But I'm doing this myself, and it's getting done not on a timer, not on a trigger, not on anything else other than my brain actually firing it. So on a count of 3, I'm going to try and lift it. 1, 2, 3.
Well done.
It's all right. I'm going to bring it back up. So I'm using a mirror image right now of my right hand. All I want to say is to people who are having strokes around the world or even here in Australia, don't lose hope. Because I think doctors come in with their MRI machines and, your brain scans and can tell you this and that and the other. And I believed it for so many years. And that's the hardest thing about it. When you believe something, I gave up. Vicky, do you know how easy it is to give up?
Especially when progress is really slow.
And it is slow, and that's the thing. It's taken 6 years just to do this. And this is not easy. This might look really this might look really simple. But sending a signal through all the brain damage that's happening in my head, it's fatiguing, it's tiring. But over 600 or 500,000 repetitions of this, hopefully I will build that neuro pathways to get my hand to do this automatically. I'm not going to give up. 2020 is my year to get my hand moving again. And with our physiotherapists who are committed like Vicky Cook and Kathy Inglis, my occupational therapist, and so many other great allied health assistants out there around Victoria, they're the ones who are getting this done for me. And I'll tell you what, there's so much more this device Omni High 5 can do. But I like to talk about this device, and I know I talked about it a lot. But the Omni High 5, through Opal Orthotics, through the NDIS, Joanna Hall, you've made this possible for me. I'm not crying right now because it's made me stronger. But at the same time, Vicky, I'll tell you what, do you know how hard it is to lose all your friends? I lost all my friends after my stroke. And I think the stim stopped.
No, it's still going. It might have loosened though. Do you want me to stop it there?
Yeah.